Okay, in Ideal Cooking in Carla's Kitchen today, we're going to do chocolate eclairs and cream puffs. Now, I know that doesn't fit in to what you consider healthy eating, but if you build them into your daily plan, you can make them work. And I'll show you how in one of the daily meal plans. So I've already started. I put 2 cups of water, a half a cup of butter, and a dash of salt in the pan. And so you're just going to stir this up, put it on medium-high heat until this starts to boil. Once it starts to boil, you add the flour, and then you get a nice ball, and then that sets for 30 minutes before you add the eggs. And I want to show you the part where it becomes a ball, because that's probably a difficult thing to explain. So you can see the water starting to boil, just starting to bubble up. We're adding 2 cups of flour to it. We're going to stir this really quick because you don't want this to burn. It starts to boil really fast. You're only going to cook it another minute as it balls up. One of the most important things too is that you want to use good flour, flour that hasn't expired. One of the things I've found in baking is if you have flour that has expired, then you will not get the lift you need from your baked goods. So you can look down there in that pan, you can see how it's a ball. And that is what you want it to look like. We're going to turn the camera off and come back after this has cooled about 30 minutes. Okay, now we've put the Pontachoux dough into the KitchenAid. And we're going to put 10 eggs one at a time, and each egg we're going to blend so we've let this cool for 30 minutes, and each egg we're going to let blend for at least 30 seconds to a minute. This really is what gives the eclair and the cream puff the puffy, airy feel to it. So it's really important. So you just crack an egg into the Cuisinart, and you'll see, Kathy's going to show you. Get it mixed up, and for at least 30 seconds, and then we're going to do this for 10 eggs. So we're going to shut this off while we do this for 10 eggs, and then we'll show you the final, what it looks like just before we pipe it onto a tray. Okay, now I want to show you, I'm going to have Manny come up and show you, this is what the texture and consistency of the dough looks like once you've beaten all 10 eggs into it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take a pastry bag. We're going to fill the pastry bag with about half of the dough. Just like that. And we're going to put it, we've already heated our oven to 400 degrees while that was going on, while we were beating in the eggs. So it's ready, the oven's ready, and you want to have the oven good and hot and ready for as soon as you get these piped on. So we put a good sized tip on this, and then we're going to make small like that. And that's about how big we want them. You can make bigger ones if you want, but this is the size that we're going to make today. Okay, I'm going to show you that I do the dough a little bit different for cream puffs. Put them in a round circle, and then we're just going to cut them in half and add whipping cream. So I wanted to show you that I do make those a little bit different than the eclairs. Okay. You can turn. Okay. The eclairs are done. They've come out of the oven after about 20 minutes. They're golden brown, you can see. We put a small hole in them to help them cool off. And I'm just I made a makeshift pastry bag with a Ziploc and a nice long tip. I'm taking our vanilla custard and I'm just simply placing it inside of there, pumping in a small amount into the eclair, and then after that's done, we'll frost them and refrigerate them, and they'll be ready to go. That's all you do to fill them up. Okay, in Ideal Cooking in Carla's Kitchen, we're finishing off our chocolate eclairs. So we've already filled them, and now I typically frost them. And today we're going to try just dipping them in the chocolate sauce that I've done before. I have a video on my dipped strawberries, and it's the same chocolate sauce I'm using for that. So I'm going to try this and just see how this works out. I'm going to put the chocolate on, dip it in, kind of get the strings off, and then flip it around. We're going to see if that sets up nicely, and if it does, that's our new topping for our chocolate eclairs. So, just like that. And now they're finished. Put them in the refrigerator and serve them.